Alright, agree or not, Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Derek Carr has likely played his last down for the team. You guys already know I don't agree with the logic here, but I'm over it by miles now. I'm too busy trying to figure out what the Raiders' plan is from here. Part of why I disagree with the logic is I didn't see what the plan was or could be. There are only 2 quarterbacks that are supposed to be that guy in this year's draft, and the Raiders don't pick in the top 5, so they're not in line for any of them. But I don't think GM Dave Ziegler and head coach Josh McDaniels would just bounce Carr like they did with no plan to replace him. So here are a few guys that Ziegler and McDaniels may be planning to have as their starting quarterback in 2023. Well, let's start with the guy I at least want to see become a Raider because there isn't much of a future for him. I'm sure you remember UFC President Dana White's story about the Raiders having deals set up for quarterback Tom Brady and tight end Rob Gronkowski to actually join the Raiders in 2020. By the way, owner Mark Davis was the one leading the charge on it, but former Raiders head coach John Gruden nixed it. So here we are 2 years later, and the Raiders have his former offensive coordinator as their head coach, while Brady will be a free agent after the season. McDaniels and Brady are close, so Davis might get his man this time. I can't help but wonder if that's been Davis's plan ever since he had to fire Gruden. I mean, he hired Ziegler and McDaniels to get that old Patriots feel. Did he do it to lure Brady knowing his contract will soon expire? Brady is one of the best to ever do it, but I do have reservations because Brady's 75 years old now. The AFC West has pass rushers, and the Raiders don't have the greatest offensive line. They could add a couple of players this offseason to fortify that offensive line, though. Jimmy Garoppolo is another guy Ziegler and McDaniels could bring in. They have Garoppolo in New England, so he's familiar with McDaniels' system, and that's important to McDaniels. When he was in Denver, he tried to trade for Matt Castle because he knew his system, but the deal couldn't be worked out. It isn't just about the system, though. Garoppolo can play, too. He took the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl in 2019, his 3rd year with the team. On the way to that Super Bowl, he went 13-3, threw for 3,978 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and a passer rating of 102. Then after tearing his ACL in 2020, he took the 49ers to the playoffs last year after they got off to a bad start with 2021 first-round pick Trey Lance at the helm. In 15 games, he went 9-6, threw for 3,810 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and a 98.7 passer rating. Then this year he broke his foot at 7-3, having thrown for 2,437 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a passer rating of 103. I like Garoppolo, but his durability or lack thereof scares me. Now this one requires a trade because the Raiders need to trade up at least into the top 3 to get Bryce Young. Young will only be a rookie in 2023, but he'll be ready to go because they run the same Earnhardt Perkins system at Alabama as McDaniels runs. Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien was at one time a receivers coach under McDaniels in New England. That's why former Bama quarterback Matt Jones had no transition offensively as a rookie and made the Pro Bowl as a rookie under McDaniels in 2021. Young is an exceptional talent that can make plays throwing the ball and running the ball, so McDaniels would enjoy coaching him, but there are a couple of problems with this too. The first one is they're going to have to give up a lot to get him while the Raiders have other areas of the team to fix so he can win right away. Ziegler and McDaniels don't have long to turn things around. The other is his size. I've seen Drew Brees and Russell Wilson succeed, so I'm not worried about his height. I'm worried about his being well under 200 pounds. He's skinny and can break the minute he takes a hit. Skinny running quarterbacks get broke off a lot. Ask RG3. After getting drafted number 1 overall in 2018 by the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield looked like he was on his way to stardom in 2020. Unfortunately, he and the Browns soured on each other, so they traded him to the Carolina Panthers where he was cut. Then, of course, he beat the Raiders just a couple of days after landing in LA. So he's obviously smart and can pick things up very quickly. He also has a hose for an arm as he has the longest throw next-gen stats that's ever recorded at 70 air yards. Anyone can do that in their pro day, but Mayfield did it in the game with shoulder pads when it counted and when his teammates needed it. He's also mobile and can make things happen off script. McDaniels loved him coming out of college, and he hasn't done anything as a pro to make McDaniels sour on him. He's soon to be a free agent too, so the Raiders don't have to give anything up for him. He's also only 27, so he has a lot of football left in him, and he can lead the Raiders into the future. Of all the options the Raiders have, I believe this one makes the most sense. Young, ton of talent, could pick up an offense quick, and the head coach already loves him. Carr fans, I feel you, but it's time to let it go. He's very, very, very likely not coming back. When players from a new regime take over an NFL franchise, players left over from the old regime better perform right away. Is it fair? No. Are they scapegoating Carr? Yes, but that's how it's always been in the NFL, so don't cry about it now. I don't think Ziegler and McDaniels will move on from Carr without a plan for 2023. So I just showed you 4 guys that their plans could be based around. Thank you for watching. See you next time.